Hi gang, Scott here. Today's video is about Luminar and single image edits and something that's a little quirky about them. There's a particular workflow that exposes this unusual behavior. It's a little different and a little strange if you encounter it and don't know what's going on. Now, if you're not familiar with single image edits, I have a separate video on that explains all of that. I have a link below this video to give you the background on what a single image edit is. If you have a certain workflow, like this question I got from Deborah, she's doing a lot of composites and likes to begin her workflow with a pure gray background. So she's opening up this gray background as a single image edit, doing her compositing work, then wants to move on to the next photo. And that's where the quirk comes in. So let me show you what happens here first. So we're in Luminar, and we want to do a single image edit. And let's do Deborah's workflow here. We're going to go grab a single image edit. Right here on my desktop, I've just got a gray background. Let's open that up. And I'm in my layers area, and let's do just some quick compositing work, right? We'll add a new image layer. I have this image of Yosemite. Maybe I do a layer transform. Let's just make it smaller. Say we're doing a quick collage here. I'll add in one more image layer with another photo. Another layer transform. Do that. Maybe put that over there. Great. And we'll add a quick look to it. Essentials. Good old-fashioned image enhancer. Okay, wonderful. So we've done a composite, and at this stage, maybe we've exported it out to a separate image. All is well with the world, right? Everything's great. We go back into our library module. I'm doing other things in Luminar. I'm just going through my other photos. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And then I get to the point where I want to do another composite. So this workflow, the first thing I want is my gray background. So I go back up and say File, Edit Single Image. I pick my gray background, and this happens. I'm jumped over to the composite that I previously did. All right, what just happened? What's going on? The key here is in the layers area, the very bottom here, this 404040.jpg, that's the RGB value I'm using for this slate gray here. This source file sitting on my desktop, when I open that as a single image edit, Luminar added it to the catalog, referenced it, let me start working with it and doing things with it, and it is still sitting in this single image edits shortcut. So it's kind of part of my catalog. I mean, it really is. It's being referenced by my catalog. It's just not in the set of folders that I have all added and registered with my catalog. So this is still sitting out here, and so if I try to open up my default gray background again, Luminar says, oh, I already have this in the catalog. Let me show you what you worked on. And so this is where the workflow gets odd. If you're wanting to start a new composite or something and you have this standard background you want to use, you're kind of broken. Well, what can you do? What are the choices that we have to work through this? Well, the first thing is if you're done with all of this work and you've exported to, say, an archival TIFF or your final image format, whatever it may be, you can simply remove this image. If I right-click on it and say remove it from single image edits, that'll take it away like this. And then I can do a new single image edit, choose that slate gray, and I can start fresh and start new. If you do not want to do that, or you're not sure, maybe you're going to go back to that composite, well, you're left with some traditional choices. You can go over to your desktop and make a copy, right? I could duplicate this, and then back over in Luminar, I could start a new single image edit, opening up the copy, and that will be a new base layer because the files are unique. So I could have just a bunch of different gray backgrounds, but I need to make one every single time I want to start with a new photo. The last option is if you have an image that is most of your composite. like the base of your photo. That could be the thing you start with as a single image edit. Let's say in this case, I wanted to do a single image edit, and the base photo was, this photo here of this black and white TIFF. Now, if I wanted to do any type of work with this, like layer transforming and changing it, I can start to reposition things. And I have kind of a slate background already. If I wanted a different background, instead of being slate gray, maybe I wanted a different color or something like that. Well, what we could do is, here's my base layer. I can duplicate that layer. I can now add another image layer, and for the sake of argument, we'll just have to pretend that this was a different color, right? We can add in another layer, and I have the ability to now drag and drop things around. So I can start to work in a layered format. And what I'm doing here, and I know I'm moving a little quickly, but what I'm doing here is I'm really kind of ignoring the initial photo that I loaded in. I'm just using that to have a unique file name, right? It's a unique photo on my machine, and if I open that as a single image edit, that will be added to the catalog once and only once. I can then add this gray image layer as many times as I want to as many different photos as I want, and I've got my workflow going. But really the thing is, if you've got this gray background, like a slate gray background you want, just start with your image, and then you can do layer transforms to shrink things down. If you need to have a different color, or you need to do some sort of manipulation on your base photo layer that you can't do at the very bottom of the stack, duplicate it, and you can add in as many different image layers as you need to get to your end result. So that's like the quirkiness with single image edits. When you add the photo to your catalog, you do open a photo as a single image edit. You do that the first time, all's good. If you try to repeat that a second time, Luminar is going to jump you over to the first one you did because it thinks you've already opened it as a single image edit. The concept of whatever you've done to the photo, added more layers, whatever adjustments you've done, that doesn't exist in that workflow, but there are ways to work around it. Hopefully that made some sense. It is a weird kind of thing, but again, I thought it was worthwhile to highlight here in a video. Hope you enjoyed it. You got other questions? Go ahead and drop them below. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Have fun.